Hello, we are here on Rejuvenate Raw with Kim, and I just want to welcome everybody. I'm going to give everyone just a few minutes to catch up to us and to log on to our Wednesday Live. We have been doing these the last 3 weeks, and we plan on doing this in the future. It's at 9:45 a.m. Central Standard Time here on Rejuvenate Raw with Kim. And my guests are always, well, I hope always, most of the time, Luka Hinić, who is a regenerative, what is your title, Luka? I want to make sure and get it right.
Regenerative detoxification specialist. Awesome. And hi, guys.
And welcome, Laura. And Laura,
hi.
Do you want to give us your title?
Well, I'm a spiritual life coach, stress management coach, wellness coach, meditation coach.
And Laura was my coach through my healing, my transformation journey, my health transformation journey. And this week we have a special guest, Brian. Do you say your name Nussbaum, Brian?
Nussbaum.
Okay. And Brian has recently joined the Rejuvenation Key course. So everybody say hi to Brian. We are so glad to have him. We are going to be talking to Brian every few weeks or so about his progress through the course and maybe some questions he might have, the ups and downs of everything. So Brian, welcome. We are so happy to have you. We're so appreciative that you're willing to put yourself out there and share your journey with us. So
not a problem at all. It's my pleasure to do so.
Well, Brian, let's start at the beginning. And how were you brought to the Rejuvenation Key course?
Well, I'd been chronically ill and dysfunctional for the better part of 2 years. Got sick in early May of 2020. I still suspected it was COVID, although I have no way to prove it. And it set me off on just a soliloquy of illness that I didn't know I had. I developed Lyme, developed Bartonella, mycoplasma pneumonia, and I had just been literally in a state where I could not do anything, couldn't go outside, couldn't function as a person, as a man, as a functional member of society. And through this journey, I've been watching, as I'm sure you guys can imagine, I'd been, plopped down on the couch and in bed. And so what does a sick person do when the doctors and the hospitals basically say it's just anxiety and we don't know what's wrong with you? You start researching. So I researched and I eventually found Dr. Morse and started learning about fruitarianism and just getting back to our frugivore roots, which I do believe we are, and hearing about people healing from the incurable. And I joined his group, and that's where I started, mingling with people and networking. And that eventually brought me to Kim. I saw a picture of her on her worst day. Somebody randomly shared it in the group, and then I found her page, and that was pretty much it. And I basically decided it's time that I get real structured help, because I understand, okay, eat the fruits and the herbs, but didn't really know on a day-to-day basis, if I was doing things right. And this is not mainstream stuff. So I needed help implementing and actually being accountable and structured in my approach.
Understandable. I needed that same kind of help. I had a coach. There was not any course like this available when I started. And you're right, it is not mainstream. It's like you have to piece it all together. And so that's what we did. When I figured out the pieces, and Luka and Laura, we just put it all together for anybody who is seeking for the information. So I think you kind of answered our next one. What prompted you to become a member? You said you just were ready to do this. Well, so what are the areas that you think you need the most help with, Brian?
Well, for one, even after I had kind of figured out, okay, do the fruits, I had already known, because of some of the groups some of the support groups, these long hauler groups that I'd been in, that the mind body connection was a very big deal. And there's like brain rewiring courses out there, and there's lots of stuff out there, but I didn't really I hadn't really committed to one thing. And I think part of it's because everything was just like one off. It was like this doctor's protocol and this theory and that theory, and there's this DNRS program over here, and all this stuff that's just out there. But I didn't have a team. So I didn't have anybody to guide me and say, okay, yes, this is a good idea, do it along with this. It was just me using my intuition and intelligence to try to figure things out, and so when I found you guys and I saw your presentation, Kim, talking about Laura, and Laura presenting within that, and I said to myself, okay, so here's a mind body coach. I know I have to do the breath work. I know I have to do the meditation. I've always been down with that stuff, but here I finally have like a medical team. Like I have everybody that I need all in one. I'd looked at a detoxification specialist before. I decided not to work with her because, again, I wasn't sure. And the money, and I haven't worked for 2 years. Everything's tough. The guidance with the diet, the protocol, and then the mind body work. So for me, I think what really tied it all together was having access to somebody that's in the mind body field, the stress management, that can guide me through the breath work in the course, while I have both hands to the machine here, all in one place.
Excellent. And that's exactly what we strive to put together, is to cover all areas. Someone who's been through it, who's been almost, I was on my deathbed and found my way out, and then someone to cover the diet portion, the physical portion, and someone to cover the emotional, spiritual part of healing, because it does take all of those. So I'm so happy that you realized that, Brian, and we're drawn to it. So let me ask you this. What do you like best about, I know you've just begun the Rejuvenation Key course, maybe even like a week ago or something. Like, what do you enjoy most about the course and community so far? Because part of joining is you're in a private Facebook group with others who are going through the same thing.
Sure. Well, for one, what really helps me, even as I like intellectually know that's the right thing, but mentally sometimes will doubt it, because you check this symptom or that symptom and you're like, God, can this really, is this really it? Being part of that group and knowing, I mean, really it comes my focal point is on you at this point. It comes down to knowing, like, having that list of all the things that you had, the MRSA, the whole 8 or 9 things that you had going on. I don't even have a name for what's going on with me. I don't even have, I don't know. So knowing that you came through it and having a place to speak with you, even if it's just a Facebook group, having a community to plug into, to know that, okay, well, while everybody is different, people have been far, far worse than me, and have come out the other side healthier and wiser than they were before. So I have to hang on to that reality for me. And so having the group, having the course, the guidance in the course, which is very structured, the structure of the course really is great, because can watch 2-hour Dr. Morse videos all day long, end up watching 75 hours worth of videos and having a little pieces of it. But now I have a place where it's all about me. It's all about, here's what you do. If I forget something, I can just go back to module 1 or module 2 and cherry pick what I need. That's worth the price of admission alone.
Yeah,
even though I have all the time in the world, I don't have time to be trying to figure everything out anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, because you get lost in the depth of it all. And yeah, I completely understand. So I'm really thrilled to hear that the structure of the course is helping you, the how to, what you do, how you do it, and why you do it. And that's what we talk about in the course. So Kristen, I see, was asking on the live. She said, so were you do you believe you were healthy before you got sick in 2020?
Do I believe I was healthy before I got sick?
Yeah.
Knowing what I know now, no. I was
Exactly.
functioning. I mean, right up until the day, it was Friday, March 20th, 2020. Right up until that day, I was walking, taking walks every day. And unbeknownst to me, there were things going on. First of all, I was very stressed. I mean, the stress was at like the barometer was about to just break. I had already been through 3 or 4 years of some stressful events in my life. I'm sure things even prior to that had built up, but I had a particularly stressful couple of years. But I really think, knowing what I know now from my blood tests, knowing that I had like Lyme, I was like, where did that come from? I never get bit by a tick. I had things floating around in my body, and it just took the right chain of events to set off a bomb. So no, I was very much not healthy, and my activity wasn't healthy. I was not eating right. I mean, I was eating white carbs galore, Dunkin' Donuts, sweet drinks, and pizza and calzone. And I mean, it was like, because I was stressed, I was stress eating. So everything culminated with this. And so no, I was very much not healthy at all.
It sounds like a similar situation to mine. I call it the perfect storm. We're functioning, but we're not well. This stuff takes years, and most of it starts when we're born. Right. And then when we add the stress, the negative emotion, your body can't keep going anymore, Right. So, okay. Let me ask you, what are your goals in going through the course?
I hadn't really thought about it that specifically, but what comes to mind are a few things, and some people might not understand, but I guess we don't have the time to explain it all, but I have some very specific goals. One, I live in Florida, USA, for those who don't know, and when we come out of our cool season, the average temperature is about 80 degrees, and the humidity usually runs at 50% and north of that. As you know, when you have breathing problems, it can be nearly impossible to breathe outside. I am at a point where, unless it's a cool day, I cannot function outdoors. I quite literally, my whole body swells up inside, and I cannot be outside. I have been indoors in this house, with the exception of getting the mail. I've been inside for over 8 months.
That's rough. That's really rough. I know what that's like. Can I ask how old you are, Brian? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm 36.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, I have, like, from the moment I breathe air into my nose, I have this smell this smell in my sinuses, and my neck will close up, my thyroid will tighten up outside, and I'm pretty sure I have vascular damage in my cardiovascular system and in my chest, and I will literally just start suffocating outdoors. And so my biggest dream right now is to just be able to take a walk.
Yeah.
I can't even walk down the block.
Okay, that totally is a great goal for sure. And you'll see as you continue to get better, your goals are going to grow because you're going to see like amazing things are possible. Like your life is going to transform in a way you never expected, because it's not just the physical. Right. It's everything in your life is going to change for the better. So I'm so excited for you. So one more question. Sure. How can we best support you, Laura, Luka, and myself through your time in the Rejuvenation Key course?
I think the biggest thing for me is when it comes to the protocol, that's all about me doing my part. It just, wake up, do your thing, eat your fruit, take your herbs. I got a couple herbs. The other side of it, which is a little bit more wonky, for lack of a better term. The spiritual side, the mind body side, Laura, is that for me, because of how much I've been through, it's just so easy for me to just doubt. And so for me, the biggest thing is keeping me on track up here, and developing myself spiritually, and having guidance with the meditations, because I've never meditated. I mean, I'm a Chicago guy. I can't sit still for 5 minutes. So really sitting down, and both physically and calming the mind, that's where I need the most guidance. I don't really know how else to say it, but it's like, that's really where I need the most accountability and work, because even though I'm laid up in bed, it's really easy for me just to hang out in bed and watch YouTube videos and mosey around the house. It takes a lot more effort for me to sit down and turn that music on and just meditate. So because I'm not accustomed to it, and I fully believe in it, I've always been a big believer in meditation, but I've always just been somebody that's like, oh yeah, meditation is good for you. I'm going to talk about it, but I never did it. I've never been somebody that practices it. So that's new to me. And supporting me in that area, I think, is really going to be paramount.
Awesome. Well, as you probably found out, the Rejuvenation Key course has a daily meditation for you. So the resource is there for you. And I highly encourage you to do those meditations each and every day. I understand what you're saying about it being hard. I hear that a lot from, us more driven people tend to be, we're thinkers, we think a lot. And so we had to learn to slow the mind down and to do the breathing and of course the meditation. So I think you're doing great. Now let's turn this over to Luka and Laura, and I want them to just give you a few little starting advice as you begin your journey. So Luka, do you want to begin? Laura, you want to start?
Yeah, there's not such a thing of a bad meditation ever. The purpose of the mind is to think. When you meditate, you are kind of not giving a mind a purpose. But you can give the mind a purpose by repeating a mantra, by focusing on the breath. And the thoughts are going to come, yes. Sensations are going to come, yes. You're going to hear things in your environment, yes. The idea is to go back always to your focus, which could be your breath, could be a mantra, could be nothingness. But there is nothing wrong about having a meditation where there is a lot of thought. Then you're stressed. It's your feedback. If you fall asleep, that means you need more rest. Everything's feedback. So never address a meditation by saying it was a bad meditation. Every meditation is a good one. So that's my first advice to you.
Okay.
And Laura,
I'm here, like you can ask questions during the Wednesdays that we can answer for you. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
And Laura, let's talk about why it's important to meditate next week on our Wednesday get together. Sound good?
Sure.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes. And I'm leaving, okay, because it's 11. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Nice to meet you, Brian.
You as well, Laura.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Luka.
Yes. So I usually just say to people, especially when they're starting with the physical, let's say, habits and in form of the diet and detoxification and stuff like that. Sometimes it's even more important to know that during the transitioning period, where there can be a lot of detoxification symptoms and stuff like that, and there will be a lot of emotions coming up, and absolutely everything will start coming up. Everything that is old, that is weak, that needs to come out of you will start coming out of you. And in that moment, everything that you need is understanding of that process, understanding that what's going on is actually very useful and very good for you. and that the body is doing things for you and not against you. The body is not attacking you. The body does not want to hurt you. The body is actually helping you, but the understanding of that will determine how fast the process will actually be done. Because if we are fearful, if we are worried, if we're constantly like resisting that and like doubting that, it will be stopping the natural processes that are actually happening. And also considering that we are human and we sometimes fall off the wagon and whatnot, that it is not the problem to fall off the wagon. The problem is if you stay off track in that sense. So it's not a problem to fall off the wagon. It's just a matter of how fast you will get up again and continue going on the track that you decided that you will commit to. That's the only thing that is important, because that commitment and that like patience and understanding and persistence will take you where you want to be, always.
Okay.
Thank you, Luka.
Great.
And just a few words from myself. And you see, I talk about this in the course, Brian, is to love yourself through it. To truly love yourself and to be in appreciation and gratitude of everything that comes into your reality. Look for the good in everything. And as Luka said, just always trust your body. Your body has your back, so to speak, and it knows what it's doing. And when we are in ease and we're constantly sending a message to our cells, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing for me. I love you. I appreciate you. Amazing things are happening inside of us. So I know you're going to do great. I'm really excited to continue to watch your health transformation. And how do you feel about coming back on the live with us here in a few weeks?
That's fine. Whenever you guys want.
How you doing? Awesome.
Yeah, I'm happy and eager to give updates and, you know, let people know candidly what, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, you know.
Absolutely. Anytime you want to give us an update, shoot a video, we'll go ahead and post it. So
yeah, definitely.
Okay,
yeah,
awesome.
I can do a video every week or so. No, it's no problem.
Perfect. All right, Luka, it's been great seeing you and hearing your words of wisdom. And we'll be
Likewise.
back same time next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.